Booyah, what's pop locking, y'all? Big Cool Boy, Robotic Puppets, West Coast Pop Lockers, down here at Cool Boys Boxing Camp and Dance Academy. And this is my YouTube channel where I allow pop lockers to come and express themselves. Talk about what happened, talk about how it went down, and talk about what you gonna do or what you did. You feel me? This is Cool Boys Pop Locking channel. Let's have some pop lock talk, y'all. Talk your shit. Booyah!
What's pop locking, y'all? Is the East Coast in the building? I bet y'all want to know why I'm playing this jam right here today, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, on Cool Boys Pop Lock Talk, today we got Mr. Wave in the building. This the shit they was rocking to back in the day right here. 1984, the soundtrack from Beat Street. Let's bring in Mr. Wave. Come talk to Cool Boy, Mr. Wave. We're gonna bring him in. There he go. Patiently waiting. He patiently waiting. Look at him like it's about time, man. Mr. Wave.
What's up? I don't see no pictures.
You don't see me?
What's up, man?
Uh-oh.
How's it going?
Hold on, Mr. Wave. What's up, my brother? How you feeling, man?
I can't call it. I'm good. I feel good. Great.
You look good, man, and you look great.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, your aura is blinging. It's blinging, brother. It's bringing. How you feeling, man? You still look like you're sporting are those prescriptions or
These are actually Gucci.
Gucci?
Yeah, they're not prescription.
That's what's up.
Part of my, I had them for them to put in them, but I bought them just like, you go to the store and you buy you a pair of glasses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Wave, man, for those, the younger generation, of course, my generation, they know what time it is when it comes to you. But do me a favor. Identify yourself for me.
All right. So, as people know, my name is my dance name is Mr. Wave. Tony's my name for those who need to know that, government name, Tony Wesley. When I was in the film, it was Tony Drawhorn because I had a stepdad I ain't rock with, but that's why people can't really find me, because Tony Drawhorn did Beat Street and traveled the world before Tony Wesley, I got my right name. But as far as I've been dancing for, I want to say for 40 years, 40 something years. Traveled the world, 3-4 passports, and danced for 3 presidents. So I'm the only dancer on the planet, break dancer, that's danced for 3 different presidents. So I danced for Ronald Reagan, President Bush, the father, and I danced for Barack Obama's the Easter egg roll.
Whoa.
Me and Doug was out there.
Hey, man, that's big. That's deep. That's a huge accomplishment, man. Yeah, you're right. I don't know of any break dancer, pop locker, hip hop dancer, anybody, ballerina, nobody that's done that for 3 different presidents. In 3 different decades.
Right. So first in the 80s, it was, it was a double bubble in the 80s because we danced for Catherine Dunham at the Kennedy Center Honors with Ronald Reagan. And then Bush got in. So when Bush got in, we did his inaugural gala. the New York City Breakers. So we've been to the White House. We met. There's documentation and pictures of me. We taking pictures with them, and then I did Barack Obama in 2016 for his last Easter egg roll.
Break it down, Wade. Take him back. Take him back. Take him back. Take him back. Woo! Take him back. Take him back. Take him back. Take him back. Jigga, jigga low. Jigga low. Jigga, jigga low. Jigga low. Now there's a place that you go where you want to get down, and Mr. Wade is going to take it on down. On! Clap your hands, y'all, for Mr. Wade! Bring it, Wade, come on! Put your hands up! 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 Here we go now! Here we go now! Here we go! Here we go! Now listen, some of y'all might know this, and some of y'all don't. Who know this song? Some of y'all might get with this, and some of y'all won't, but listen. Let me clear my throat. Oh! Mr. Wade, y'all, give a round of applause, Mr. Wade. He ain't over yet. Break it down, Wade. Break it down, baby. Break it down. Everybody in Bahamas Bay in Philadelphia. Here we go. And Mr. Wade, show them how your name is Mr. Wade.
Yeah, that's the great, y'all. Look at all that bass groove right here.
Clap it up. Clap your hands, y'all. Clap your hands for Mr. Wade, y'all. Clap your hands, y'all. Clap your hands, y'all. Mr. Wade.
Myself, let me tell you a little bit about this dance.
He got skills. Where New York at?
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man.
Oh man.
Not again.
Mr. Wade. Break it down, Wade. Swing it hard, Wade. It's Wade, y'all. When I say Mr., y'all say Wade. Mr. Mr. When I say Mr., y'all say Wade. Mr. Mr.
They gon' ask if I can play the back to back.
Sing a song.
Yeah, they want it back to back. They gon' ask if I can play the back to back.
Say what?
Breaking views, now it's back to that.
Round of applause for Mr. Wade, ladies and gentlemen.
How did that feel, man? What was that like to get down for Barack Obama?
Well, for me, because the way I grew up and how I see and view life, there is no one of us, including myself, that I hold in real crazy high regards. I think the struggle is real. It was an honor, because Dougie Fresh asked me to go out there, so it was the biggest feeling was not so much from Barack, but to get the letter from his wife. And then I took my wife with me as my manager, so she also got a letter from the First Lady, that she can have, in the archives for the rest of her life. So the accomplishment outweighs the emotional attachment, if that makes sense. When you accomplish something like that, and you know that, you're in your late 40s and you can still get down on the stage and have the Obamas watch it and people feel it and vibe you as if you were here relevant today. And I don't mean relevant as a person, but I mean just relevant in the dance. I stay relevant in the dance. I can still dance. So that's what's more for me, at my age, to be able to still function at that high level, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, man, it's a blessing to have that longevity, you know what I'm saying? To even be physically fit to perform.
No workout, no push-ups.
No, you eating healthy and eating right, huh?
No, I'm a steak and potatoes kind of guy, man. I just got to keep it real. I just think it's all blessings. Us coming out of that Bronx and out of that hood and that concrete jungle, you got to pay homage to somebody. Mm-hmm. There was no way in the world we all could have done that at the same fucking time, and hear all this music and develop this style called hip hop, overnight. It was a blessing because we had nothing, we had no parts to play in. We had no jobs to be had. You know, it was a concrete jungle. We were tearing down the Bronx. Our playground was in those abandoned locations and areas. I have pictures to show that. You know, we looked old before our time. You know, does that make any sense? So, you know, we were blessed.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Hey, man, I want to get very detailed. I know you said 40 years ago, but tell me the exact year that you were introduced to popping. When did you begin?
All right, so it wasn't popping for me in the very beginning. When in the 70s, when Michael Jackson had his little cartoon, and then in the early 80s with the robot, you know, watching Soul Train, the Lockers, we weren't really into locking in New York. It was more of robot mime would play the big part because of the illusion aspect of the mime. So, you know, when you had the mime, it was intriguing. And then you had the Michael Jackson era of Dancing Machine, the robot, the James Brown kind of flavor. So then it became the electric boogie for us. And that was late 70s, early 80s, the electric boogie. So there are several different popping styles. You know, some people pop with their shoulders, some people pop with their chest. You know, some people hold tight and hit and release. There's so many different styles. You have to keep them segregated. But early 80s is when everything happened. We were already doing mime, and when I was a kid, and doing the robot. That has been there forever, way before all the styles that we refer to. You know, the robot that people don't talk about and don't say anything about. And then when you connect mime, there goes your freezes, the slow motion, your pauses, your effect is the mime. So what I've done, and a lot of people out of the New York platform, we didn't go towards the lock. We went more towards combining those two styles, you know. And so that's where, you know, so it's early 80s, to make it a short answer, 79, 80, 81.
So you're not just a popper, man. You b-boy. You're a breakdancer as well.
Yeah, but again, what we do is what, you know, everybody knows Chicago Bulls, right? You've heard of Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan's era. Don't you know that all those guys could have scored 20 or 30 points a game? But you had to play your position. So we all danced on concrete and b-boy, but that was not the position for the New York City Breakers because we rolled so quick. You know, so I would practice sometime with my guys, but they all had what they call signature moves. So did Mr. Wave's signature moves. So when you do a movie and you dance for a president and it's on TV and you do graffiti rock, the world relies on the signature move. Michael Jackson grabbing his nuts. That was a signature move. Or screaming up and yelling, you know, stomping. Those were signature moves. And that was differs us, you know, from even LA. LA was a lot of, you know, that style was so compact and so dope, but it mirrored a lot of people locked. In New York, when you have the Mr. Wiggles, the Mr. Waves, and Clown, we all had different signature moves, you know. So it was just different. You know, it was no lack of respect because when I was a kid watching the Lockers on Soul Train, it's amazing that platform was there. But when we watched that, and it was I heard you say something the other day about hip hop and how locking is the origins as well. But and my version is graffiti art and locking is really on the outskirts of hip hop. Because what is hip hop? Hip hop was created in a room when all those elements joined each other because of certain DJs. You know what I'm saying? And so when you have Grandmaster Flash, who likes karate, we all love karate. You know, we used to sneak down to 42nd Street and watch all the Bruce Lee movies. So breaking stems from partly acrobatics, gymnastics, karate. Bruce Lee is real famous in the hood, in our world. He was a hero. So we just had a lot of things we can attach to, you know, and develop these different styles of dance. It doesn't take away from the dance. but it allowed, different genres of folks who don't know what we do to gravitate to something and some of it and elevate hip hop.
So what made you gravitate more to popping, man, versus breakdancing? I know you.
I don't like to get dirty, bro. I don't like to. We all give up our bodies. So my style of dance.
I'm taking that as in you don't like getting on the ground.
I don't like getting on the ground because when you dance, you have a love for the dance. And I learned to dance in the projects, the 9, and the concrete jungle. There was no. It's a facade to say we walked around with linoleum. That's not true. Before head spins and back spins, there were freezes, footwork to freeze, because they didn't like to get dirty, the blacks. So then the Puerto Ricans picked it up, my brothers, and they would go all out. Now it's the Koreans and Asians, and it's in the Olympics. No one can be mad, and the Europeans and the Polish,
right?
Because now they go all out. We still today won't go all out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So me going with holes in my jeans, I was into starching my jeans, getting my crease that would be sharp as a knife.
Right.
It didn't connect. The black culture would not. I'm buying Adidas not to scuff them up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah. Well, look, check this out, man. You have mastered waving. At what point did you realize that was your key thing?
Okay, so my name used to be called Dr. Electric. I was Dr. Electric before I was Mr. Wade. So I was with a crew called the TR Nation, bunch of DJs. I also know how to DJ, and I also know music because we knew all of the 5 elements of hip hop. At that time it was 5. It's more than 5 now. I know how to do graffiti. We all knew all of the elements. So when it came down to women, I understood that I had to draw them in. And that means you have to pay attention to anyone watching you, and you have to give them a little more than just a dance. A lot of dancers look down and away. They feeling themselves. Wave is looking, and then I'm elevating towards you. And then I'm coming back. I'm giving the illusion of it. I'm letting you know this one is for you. You know what I mean? And so it was a draw, but it also was very attractive to women to be able to move and flex that way. So when people say, I had to make a decision, and I'm going to tell you when I had to make it. So I was Dr. Electric. There was a audition. Kid Nice, we was at Delancey Street buying Sherlings, me and my man Asa, another pop. We in Delancey Street. We used to have iron-ons, press-ons, and he pulls up in his motorcycle. He's already dancing for Gladys Knight and Pitt. New York City Breakers already there before me. And he said, hey guys, we got an audition to dance for the President of the United States. So before that, I was dancing in the projects, Dr. Electric. So we get to the audition, and all the great ones are there from New York, Mr. Wiggles, Fable, Norm, they're all there practicing. So I come in the room. I'm not from their area. I'm from the 9. I'm from the hood. So I get there. I don't know anybody. They're not coming to dance against us in the hood. And I saw all these different styles. And because of Michael Jackson, because of Charlie Chaplin, because of Soul Train, I'm able to retain. And when I saw them all dancing, I said, I want to do this. I see the CIA over there. I want to get to Washington. I had no clue about New York City Breakers or getting down with them. And I just combined it 4 styles. At the very moment, the manager of New York City Breakers saw me going through it because I had an audition. I never auditioned for that. They pulled me into the hallway, and he asked me to join the New York City Breakers. So now I have to become part of what he envisioned. Does that make sense?
Ooh, yeah.
When I came back into the room, they announced me, and Chino, Action, said, we're going to change your name. And he named me Mr. Wave. Right there. So the name Mr. identifies as stature, father, Mr. Mr. President, Mr. Wave. And Wave Come on, what is more powerful than a tsunami? The waters. So I had to realize it was easy for me to retain and be able to do different styles, but I had signature, and then I had to give up my body. So a lot of people that wave, they do not wave the middle part of their body. They wave their head, they wave their arms, but they leave it here.
Yeah.
You know, when I can wave in circular motion, I can wave this way, that way. And so I learned, you know, to give up the entire body. If you look at my earlier pictures, you see perfect waves. That's me dancing when they're taking the pictures. So there are millions of wavers. And there's wavers that are unique, and they wave in big tidal wave motion, but they're not doing a few other things. One, they're waving for themselves. They're not trying to draw anyone and everyone in. So I'm what you call a performer. Does that make sense?
Makes sense,
I'm
man.
a dancer, but I'm a performer, you know, so I believe in moving around the room.
What music touches your soul that makes you want to get out, man? What hits you? What hits your heartbeat?
Well, the difference between what we did on our side of the world and what you guys did, and I'm doing documentaries right now, we get into that later, was the music was different. Because at the time in the 80s, where in New York, James Brown was our god, you know what I'm saying? And you know, Jelly Bean Benitez and all of these funky beats and the 808 drum machine became Lord. It was in the West Coast, it was more like Prince, Michael Jackson, that kind of disco kind of flow, that kind of vibe, that kind of, you know, the music was totally different. We rely on that 808 bottom, boom, 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 you know, where in the West Coast is more, a lot going on in the song, you know. So
we were more into funk.
We're
more into we like the funk beats, man.
Yeah, you like that, you know, so you can kind of sway to it and get into it, and everybody's into it. We were more like, you know, that kind of, and the beat, you know, there ain't no joke. Rakim, Apache, Super Sperm, and Peace the President, all of that breakdancing floor kind of, you know, I would say earth moving kind of music. It gave us power. It was just, could you imagine being outside in a concrete jungle and you hear James Brown, you know, and it's bouncing off the project windows and it's coming back. There's nothing like it. I always say, and I tell people this all the time, hip hop, not just rap, not just pop locking, not just breakdancing, not just MCing. Hip hop, the elements of hip hop is like the Woods of the 80s, is the Woodstock of the 70s. It'll never be repeated. So what I went through in New York, in the Bronx, seeing the build out of it, that will never be repeated. What you went through in LA and the build out of that, we would never experience it at the level that you experienced it, at the way, you know, the Lockers experienced it, because the hats, the zoot suits, the flow, the flavor, I can't tell you how that felt. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So how do we disagree with each other? You feel how you feel, you felt how you felt, you know? Yeah.
In the Bronx, man, give me some more names who was popping with you that came from out of that city back then.
In the Bronx, because the Bronx was B-boy heavy. The Bronx was B-boy heavy. Brooklyn, it was B-boy heavy. But, you know, it wasn't just that city, because you had Lockatron John. You had, you know, you had Mr. Wave, you had Clown, you had Asa, you had Scooter, Scooter D, you had Mr. Wiggles, you had Pop Master Fable, and there's just so many more, Normski and Speedy. There's a lot of them, but here's the thing. Tough crowd. New York was a tough crowd. Only the strong really survived. So when I say that means where in the Park Jam, we had what they call, and I don't know how your guys' jams were, but we had the sound system, and everybody who was anybody was behind a rope. And you had to be, because there were no radios, there's no phones, you had to have street credit to go to any jam and get behind the rope. So Dr. Electric had that street credit, so did Scooter D, so did Clown. Clown was actually in Michael Jackson's last, his tour. Big heavy Clown. He was the clown. He played Michael Jackson, but he was just heavy. But not a lot of poppers, really flourished. You had Zone. So they traveled. It was plentiful work for everyone, but no one reached the platform of doing 2 movies, Dancing with 3 Presidents, Kings and Queens, and traveling the world. We were the highest paid dance group. We were getting paid in the 80s $10,000 a show. We were being pulled. So we went from street credit to stardom for what we call hip hop.
Especially when the movie B Street hit, right? So
it was phenomenal.
So in that movie, you guys are in the red. That's the New York City Breakers, right?
Yep.
What was the crew in the blue?
Rocksteady Crew.
Rocksteady Crew. Now, are those 2 crews street rivals?
Yes, we were before that.
So that battling was real.
That was real. The battle was totally real. But let me tell you what happened. So when we got to the battle, it wasn't supposed to be the New York City Breakers in that movie. We were in Washington, and we got a call from Harry's camp. And they said, we would like for you to be the Beach Street Breakers in the movie. Lee was not a New York City Breaker. He was the star of the movie. But in the movie, people thought he was dancing with us. When we shot that scene...
So he's just really an actor.
He's just an actor. He was at that time.
Was some of the scenes not him?
Yeah. Some of the scenes, it wasn't him dancing. Yeah. I believe it was Swipe's Backspin. I think that was, I don't know, I forgot who it was. I think it was so fast. It might have been Legs, I'm not sure, but it was not him. Most of the stuff he did,
he could pop a little.
He could pop and break. So he did most of his stuff. For example, when we were in you saw the movie, right?
Yeah.
When we were in the abandoned building, and I had the sweater on, and Dougie Fresh was behind me,
yeah.
And the girls. Just before that, Lee was doing a solo, and he was floating, and they gave him his time. He deserved to be what he was, but in that battle, we were not going to allow him to be the star of this movie.
Right.
So if you look at the movie again, you see him looking up because we were holding him back.
Yeah.
And everybody was meant for someone. The secret weapon, now you got to remember, when we danced for the president, we was in Washington, we got the call from Harry. So we came out the airport and went straight to the Roxy where everybody was. And so I didn't have time, or Rocksteady didn't have time to know about Mr. Wade. They dropped me right in the middle of a battle. But I'm from the Bronx. And my guys are telling me they don't fuck with them like that. Sorry. They don't get down with Rocksteady like that. I'm angry. If you look at it again, when Doze jumps out,
yeah,
and I throw my hands up and spin backwards, I was getting ready to hit Doze. Because and where I come from in the projects, you let people finish their set. You don't interrupt out of fear. You let it happen. You win or you lose. And when he jumps out, I'm in a movie, damn it. I just came from the Bronx. I got no fucking money. I'll chop your head off. So they stopped the movie. And David said, listen, guys, this is a movie. If you don't stop, because we're going to let Lee out. I was getting ready to hit him. You can see the hostility. We're going to edit the movie anyway to make it look even, and we will stop this scene and shut it down. So now, that was a 1-2 take.
Now, what crew was Crazy Legs from?
Rocksteady Crew.
Rocksteady. Now, did the Rocksteady have a popper?
They've had several poppers. The New York City Breakers had poppers. but they before me. Rocksteady had poppers. Mr. Freeze popped a little bit, but he did kind of like the French thing with the umbrella. He was a pop. Mr. Wiggles was a popper. He was on Rocksteady Crew, So, but they didn't have one for that day that was ready for what we were about to give them. Even though they edited that movie, if you got the lost files, we destroyed them.
Bronx Rockers, Chino, Beck, come on. Yo, this Beat Street, let's serve.
Well, the Bronx Rockers are here, man.
Yo, it's Beat Street, man. It's Beat Street. They don't battle, man.
We destroyed them. It was unfair, and Crazy Legs admits to that, but he did a smart thing. So there was another battle with the New York City Breaks that people don't know about, and I didn't know about this, at a club called The Grill. I think it was The Grill. And Legs and Chino set it up, but I wasn't there, Flip wasn't there, Let wasn't there, and they had much more than they had in B Street, and they supposedly had beat part of our crew. You know what I'm saying? With untold stories, it ran like we got beat by them, and it's not true.
Let me ask you this, man, because the movie was phenomenal. Why weren't there ever a part 2?
Well, one of the reasons, and this is a true story, when the movie was shot, people from around the world wanted the premiere. So our first premiere, when we first saw it, was in Nice. Harry Belafonte took us all to Europe. So we're at the most expensive hotel. We've seen the premiere. The guys were still from the Bronx. You know, because we had made it that far, we had not realized the impact of what we have just done, because it became international, like a worldly thing. The guys were running around in the hotel, breaking into the carry-os, taking stuff, just never been anywhere. And Harry was seasoned. He is Harry Belafonte. And I think he got full. It was us, New York City Breakers. It was Rocksteady Crew. It was Soul Sonic Force and Us Girls. We toured Europe before the movie even came out. And I just think, you know, he didn't want to try to do another one. You know, everybody's still looking for a part 2.
The storyline was awesome, man, and it was deep. It got real. It had happy moments. It had sad moments. Exciting. It was a dope movie, man. Hey, but tell me this. Tell me about someone you battled before. Give me a good name. Who'd you go head up with?
No one from the West Coast. We battled nightly in New York. We battled at every club and every disco.
But I'm referring to you one-on-one with someone.
No, I'm saying every time I went to a club,
yeah,
I would battle. But again, I've met quite a few people. Even in California, when we did Soul Train, we battled in one of your skating rinks. I believe Ice-T was in that battle. Ice-T was in that battle, you know, and Sugar Pop was on our side. But as far as, and I'm going to be totally honest with you, as far as knowns coming to me directly for a battle, I've never turned down a battle. It's never happened. Never happened. The thing that was impressive to most people about me, and Peck says it the best, remember I said in the beginning I can retain? I can do a lot of styles, but my style is a unique style because I give up my whole body. And people have been injured here trying to do those kind of ways where you drop straight back and leading with your head.
They hurt themselves, huh?
Yeah, so when the battles that I have had, I would always allow them to come first and do whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Could I mimic it? Could I make fun of it? Could I do it differently? One thing I've had a lot of battles.
Can I assume something?
Yep.
Let me assume something. They're expecting you to hit them with them waves because they know that you're Mr. Wave. But I think where you also catch, catch your opponent is you hit them with the waves, but I think you catch them off guard when they find out how dope you can glide.
Not just float. Hit. Dr. Electric was before Mr. Wave.
Mm-hmm.
And so the robot was before Mr. Wave. The mind was before Mr. Wave. So when I want to break off and go sideways and go front and go back, this is not my signature. So the world didn't get a chance to witness a lot of it because film is like production. You have a certain amount of time if you with a major group. But there is and I'm going to send you some additional footage of me a few months ago, dancing off of I can dance off of any song on the planet because it's about the music. It's not about the move. So most dancers practice their signature and their style, but they will not allow themselves to venture outside of that. But that's when I dance, I expect you to see me, but while you're watching this, you better look over here. You know what I'm saying? Your eyes, you have to give me more than just a dead stare, because now you gotta look at my legs and my feet and look where I'm going. You have to move with me. So that's one thing that I've always had. And then I am able to appease the women. You know, so when you add
Go ahead, Mac Daddy.
You start to win the battle. You don't always have to be the best to win in that moment. There's times where the music didn't hit me. There's times where the music didn't hit you. You know, or there's times when you're sick. We've been thrusted into a lot of, especially in the Bronx, because it wasn't seen like it was with you guys. It was really like the Rocksteady battle. You battle, you know, and I'll be honest with you. There's times I was in clubs in Tila Rock and I hung out with rappers. So I know all of the heavyweight rappers and that's what I ran with. And they would have to pull me off. Because you're telling me I came out of the hood and I struggled to get here. And instead of you asking me to battle, you run up on me and I'm chilling with a girl. And in New York, that was looked at as a disrespectful move.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're trying to get instant fame and not earn it. A battle is what it's expected.
So that can start an immediate fight.
What? Yes. When people say that, you know, we dance not to fight, well, that's a lie. It wasn't like that in the Bronx. We danced for the love of it, and it helped us get women.
Yeah. It
helped us stay in shape, and it helped us forget about the disparity. Not having, you know, when Jay talked about sugar water, you know, this was our Kool-Aid. Put sugar in this.
Yeah.
You know, we were poor. You know, it was not. It was.
So did you grow up? Did you grow up with mom and dad?
Hell no. I met my dad when I was 28. Most of us will have that same story. We didn't grow up in a household like that.
So when you were a teenager, when you met the president for the first time, right?
Yeah, 17.
What was that like, man, to go tell your mom that, hey?
Well, he laughed at me. So when I went down and auditioned,
she didn't believe you.
They were hysterically in a dead panic, laughing. Like I told the best joke in the world. I'm serious, guys. They laid out, my brothers and sisters. I'm serious, guys. And guess what my new name is? And they just were floored about it. And it's funny now because, you know, my popularity, because I've been a ghost, has even elevated itself. So to my brothers and sisters. So when they have a conversation or you know somebody or somebody to talk about hip hop, they always go to Beach Street. And so that's my brother. They're being laughed at now. It's really funny. So, you know, I myself have reinvented myself. I own a production company. I think I sent you something, you know, and so I'm telling not just my story, but I'm telling the stories of all of our lives. I got a series coming out called You Can't Erase Me. I'm in LA now shooting the documentary for Alonzo Williams, the World Class Wrecking Crew. I already interviewed Alonzo, Yella, Clientele. I've talked to Juana from JJ Fab, interviewed her. And I'm doing DJ Yella's documentary, NWA. I've already, Battle Cat is in Lonzo's. I already had him. I'm doing Easy's son, the Doc, all of them, so you guys can hear your history too.
That's dope.
The series is called "You Can't Erase Me."
That's dope. Lonzo's like an uncle, man. He was just here at my pop locking battle. He was one of the judges 2 weeks ago here at my dance studio. But hey, Mr. Wave, hold on. I need you to rewind real quick.
Go ahead.
I need to hear the response when your mom found out it was true that you're going to meet the president.
My mom was floored and very proud because she wrote me 21 letters. Remember, I went in a group home because of my stepdad, and the abuse in the household was because of me. I was a badass kid, but I wanted to get away from that dude. So at 15, 16, I was in a group home. I was introduced to hip hop from that place. It was like a halfway house. So there were drug dealers, all this there. And then from there, you know, my last grade education was 7th. I got a GED, but I never went to college or anything. So my mom, when I got back, I was in the game before Mr. Wave, and my mom wrote me 11 letters. But she didn't know how to say goodbye. She thought I would not be here today. So for her to see me at this level, with this intellect, and clear understanding at how to control my temper, my emotions, I told you I was in the clubs getting it in.
Yeah.
You know, get ready to hit those. I was not supposed to be here. So hip hop, legs don't like when people say this, it did save my life. So my mom feels like that platform, it was not the president, it was the fact that I am doing something that is productive and constructive that helps me elevate me. You know, it's real deep that way because a mother always has a fear of you not coming home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, she was in awe when they saw it on TV. Come on, I mean, how does a mother feel calling her sisters? And I brought her all the pictures.
Like, that's my baby. That's my baby up there.
You know, pictures with Webster, Mr. T, Muhammad Ali.
Oh wow. Ooh.
Presidents.
That's
I got pictures with Frank Sinatra. We've met all of them. We've met a different cut of Hollywood than most dancers. Some people met like Michael and Don Cornelius and this one, but we've met and we've hugged and touched the Carol Burnett's of the world, all these other ones that just allow us in their world.
Yeah.
You know, so we were the kind of group that kind of elevated past hip hop and became mainstream because those are the ones hiring us. Sheiks from Saudi Arabia and all these other countries wanted that group. You know, then Graffiti Rock. Remember Graffiti Rock?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know,
What was it like when you saw your pops for the first time, when you met him?
I was 28 years old, and I went looking for him because my brother played for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh shit.
Greg Wesley, and I never met him. Greg Wesley's my brother. I'm Tony Wesley. My other brother, Alan Wesley, I met Alan when I was 28. He was 22, and I met Farmer. His name was Elijah, but he was a contractor in Little Rock, Arkansas. So my mom left him when I was in her stomach because he was a Rolling Stone. Pop was a Rolling Stone, so he had another family. She came to New York. Best thing in the world, bro. Left Arkansas. I was born in the Bronx. The rest is history. But my pops, I met him. He was drunk. He drinks moonshine. So he opens the trunk. I met him on the side of the road. I'm clean, you know. I'm 28. I meet him, and I said hi. And he don't look like my pops, but okay. So he opens the trunk full of guns, pulls out a shotgun, and he shoots it across the field. Could have blew my ear out, but he just wanted to show me what he wanted to show me, you know. And so that was we've never had longer than
How did you take that? What did that mean?
It means that my mom made the right decision.
I'm talking about him taking a gun and shooting it.
We had guns in New York. That shit was normal. I'm from the Bronx. I used to go to Arkansas and get the handmade straps, and we used to, you know, the blazers like Run DMC.
Yeah.
Wear those blazers, and we used to, I mean, it is real.
And Tucker.
It is real. We weren't just.
But you said your dad did this, right?
My dad, man, my real father, and he shot across the field. I was more mad at him almost blowing out my ear with the noise than shooting a gun. That's normal in New York. You know, it was normal. You know, that life was normal. This was normal. Getting it in was normal. The dance saved everybody. That whole hip-hop thing saved us. We would have been headed for self-destruction. They had already police. What?
So in New York, man, okay, so let's use Compton for an example.
Right.
Out here in the West Coast, a lot of the pop lockers were gang members from different sets. What about New York? I know you guys don't have Crips and Bloods, but you have your own style of gangs.
Well, in New York, they had the Black Spades. That was a gang. There were gangs. The dirty ones, motorcycle gangs. There were there's many gangs. It was not, because there's so much other bullshit in New York. When you have one apartment building, you got 8 drug dealers. You know, every building, they're right up on each other. They didn't concentrate just on gangs. In LA, everybody's in a house. You know, and so the gangs, it was more, we were robbing, there were bank robbers in New York, and, you know, and it's just a bigger city, so crime was spread out, so it didn't happen the same way. New York was a free spirit. Chicago was under one man named Hoover. So all the lieutenants would go under one man. In New York, if you got you a package, you could go in your apartment and sell it. You could make your own money. It was a free enterprise. Does that make sense? So there would be no one that can hold that many people to a commitment at that time in New York. So Bam turned to Black Spades, and it's an Elliot Ness's, I'm doing Elliot Ness's documentary. And I start with the gang, you know, and what they were. And when Alpo, and they got shot on Pelham Parkway by the police, it was Bam's cousin. Bam went to Africa. When he came back, he invented the Zulu Nation. And the Zulu Nation formed the Zulu Kings. The Zulu Kings are the breakdance group. It was 11 Zulu Kings. And then Elliot Ness became the president of the mighty Zulu Kings. Right now, they're in 34 countries.
Yeah, that's a strong army. It's a strong army now.
He's a part of You Can't Erase Me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we shot Frantic. Are you Frantic?
Yeah.
Yeah. We shot him in Elliot's documentary, Elliot Ness's documentary. It's an 8-part series. So again, there were gangs, but we decided to all put the weapons down and do this hip hop thing. So it was not gangs joining hip hop. They shut it down. They all met in a school. All the gangs met in a school platform and decided no more. We're killing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, and it was ruthless. You know, it wasn't just shooting and driving by. If they caught you, they beat you with a sledgehammer. They gut you up and hang you with your intestines. It was that type of thing in New York. You know, yeah.
Hey man, what do you feel that was your biggest accomplishment with this dance?
It was reaching people. A lot of people come to me and tell me that it was so hard to get the gist of the way that I dance and to really duplicate it, that they spent a lot of time doing that and staying out of trouble. And, you know, and it saved their lives. And so it touches my heart because it saved my life. But it also put me on a platform. I got a meeting with Warner Brothers on Thursday. It put me on a platform to, the brand is responsible for me being able to get indoors. And then the intellect allows me to go further. It's the brand that created insight. So when I first danced for the president, I was out of body. I could not believe I was on that stage. I was nervous as all outdoors.
Surreal.
So what I did was, I said, I see no one. It was 10,000 rich folks. I see no one. I don't see the president. I see no one but one person. And that's when I realized I have to perform for one person who is everyone. So the dance gave me intellect and had me seeing things differently. So I dance all the time out of out of body. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Music takes me out of body. I believe Michael Jackson danced out of body, and not just go through moves. If you want to alter something, you understand music. Also, to understand music is to be one of the best dancers. If you understand tone, rhythm, beats, bottoms, and what's being said. You talk about love, and that's what the women, they're listening to the music and seeing you perform. You heard what I said? And seeing you perform. An artist starts painting on paper and then does murals that you don't understand. So because you don't understand it, people say it's not right. So why does that artist sell that painting for $3 million? You kind of see what I'm saying? The dance is a valuable commodity, and children I teach in schools and everywhere. It turns them into something else. And I tell them all the time, when you go back to your classroom, now you have something your teacher can't possibly have. You're more powerful today to dance and learn this dance. You got to get your studies in. And they buy that.
Yeah.
So it's intellect, that the dance gave me intellect.
Okay. What are you doing with the dance today, man?
Well, I got a foundation in Chicago called I Am That Kid. So it's IamThatKid.org. I am that kid from those streets. I'm that kid that didn't have nothing. And so my foundation, we're 501(c), we give toys out for Christmas, we collect, we go to schools. They was closing a high school here, and I take a whole film crew in there, and I teach them how to dance. Then I teach them a routine. So these same kids that wouldn't talk to each other becomes supportive of each other.
And now they become creative together. Right.
It's very important that we help the world through our dance. And I think we miss that because for so long, all of the great ones spent too much time talking about great ones.
Yeah. I love that, Mr. Wave. It's very important that we help the world through our dance. That is dope, homie.
Yeah.
Super dope.
It's real talk. So I just been asked to go. I'm also on the board of Hip Hop Museum, me and Clientele.
Yeah.
They're building a museum in New York City. They're already up to like the 8th floor. 50,000 square foot hip hop museum.
Shout out to Clientele, man. DJ Clientele DJ'd one of my battles last summer.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? When I get out there, because I'm shooting I was in New York last week, and I'm going back to New York next week. After North Carolina, I'll be out there for every weekend. And I like to bring you something and get with you. And then if you got the space and want me to dance, I don't have a problem with it. And if we want to have Alonzo and Clientele DJ and invite some kids, give me a date. I'll give you my dates. I'm coming. And let's do something.
Let's do it, man. Let's set it up. Yeah.
I don't have a problem.
The invite is here, man. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. And I don't have a problem showcasing and showing them what's different, because when you become, and we all become known to the underground and to the industry, they more concentrate on your signature moves. So when I go all the way down, that really, they love it, but that's not all I have.
Right.
When I do the hammer and just bang on my body like I'm retarded, that's not all I have. And so those are kind of events that you get more of Mr. Wave, because I can dance for hours.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? I can just keep going back out there and letting them see there's so much more to this dance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I cherish those events than a paid event, because they want to see signature. It's easy math. They want to hear an old song.
Yeah.
They want to connect me to the song you just played.
I feel you.
And that's what we were told, like Michael Jordan. Wait, don't go down the floor. But that's why our routines were flips and spins and dives, because I could do it. But if I had, powerful pecs there that dope combinations and head glides and glide masters doing the fist glide, why would I get down there on my fist? Make sense?
I feel you.
Yeah, we're performing.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Right on, man. Right on.
Thank
Right
you.
on. Hey, Mr. Wave, tell me, not just me, man. Tell my viewers here on Pop Lock Talk something about you that you think people really don't understand about you, where they misunderstood you. Tell me something about you, man, that you think the world needs to know.
The world needs to know that I'm for my people. And they misunderstand me because they look at me as kind of flashy and got a lot of nice things and don't understand that I'm more for helping and being there for you than me being with the Joneses. I'm more for great conversation and support than not. I'm almost willing, I give my shirt, all of our the president jacket, I gave it to Tila Rock. There is no value in what I've done in the past. There's so much value in what I could do in the future, and that's what I give to people, and they don't understand that. They keep me in the 80s, not understanding what value I bring now to them. And that's what clientele hit it off so well. And he's part of the Real Song, because my company's called Real Song Productions. Yeah. Real, REEL, movie Real, song is for the real unsung story. And so we're trying to connect the East Coast and the West Coast.
Yeah. All right. So, Mr. Wave, man, I want to have some fun with you for a minute. I got this question. I got a questionnaire, man, and you can't tap out. You got to answer all of them, man. You got to pick. Are you ready? Okay. Mm-hmm. Bomber coat or ski jacket?
Bomber coat.
Ooh. Because the bomber coat with the fur on it, yeah, I seen you used to sport that all the time, so I should have known that one right there.
Bomber coat. Mm-hmm.
Gazelles or lowrider gangster shades?
Gazelles.
I already knew you was going to say that one. Okay. Okay. But here's one for you. Tim's or Adidas? Ooh, got you on that one. He stuck for a second.
Tim's.
Tim's. Oh, I thought Adidas was going to pull it, to be honest. Okay, you going with the Tim's. Can you glide in them Tim's, man?
Of course.
What?
I dance in the suit.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot with this one. MC Light or the real Roxanne?
Light.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why Light.
Okay, tell me why.
Because she's out of body. She's humble. And not saying that Shantae is not, because I interviewed both of them for these documentaries. They both in these documentaries, Sparky D's documentary, both of them. And so was Salt. But Light, we came to California, we interviewed Light. And we rented out a theater to interview her. She came in there with her guy, her entourage was one guy, and she wanted to be at the premiere. She's so still down to earth. And she was really dope. She was the evolution of Roxanne and those ladies in that era.
Okay. So, Lee jeans or Dickies?
Lee jeans.
Okay.
See, y'all Dickies.
Kango or fitted baseball cap?
Fitted baseball cap.
Over Kango?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
Because Kango is a brand, and fitted. If you from New York, you rock New York. If you from Detroit, you rock Detroit. You got the same hat, but you can ID yourself. Where you're at.
Okay.
So yeah, Kango didn't expand. But back in those days, it was Kango though.
KRS-One or Big Daddy Kane?
I want to say Kane because he's a showman. He performs. KRS-One is aggressive, and if you have time, I'll tell you a story about Scott LaRock. 2 days before he died, I was in his house.
Oh.
It was pretty messed up. Well, we were all that close. We were all right on top of each other in the Bronx. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It was plentiful. We would see each other every day, all of us, on 125th Street. But anyway, KRS-One is he's got like more of a militant style, aggressive.
Plus, Big Daddy Kane is a dancer.
He's a b-boy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's dope.
So Melly Mel was, Flash was. I mean, I can go down on the list. They all were. Ice-T was.
Yeah.
They all were.
Yeah.
Common.
Pitbull or Rottweiler?
Well, I got a Pit Rock mixed.
You got a Pit Rock mixed?
Yeah.
What?
Bronx. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bronx.
Is
He's out there. I bring him. They just love it. I go to the Pit because the Pit is more of a protective dog.
What color is your dog?
Jet black. You want to see him?
Yeah.
Hold on.
So he has the color. He has the color of a Rottweiler, but is he?
In the sun, he's all brown. What up, Boogie? Bronx. Hey, come here, Bronx. Bronx. Come. And I got 2 Shih Tzus. Out. Come on. I got 2 Shih Tzus too. But yeah, he's still a puppy. But we raised pit bulls in the Bronx. We raised them.
What city are you in right now?
I'm in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Chicago. But yeah, we raised pits. We used to fight them, everything, So yeah, I favor pit bulls.
Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson?
Muhammad Ali.
All day.
Intelligent.
All day. Good times or what's happening?
I'm disgusted with both of them.
What? Disgusted?
Yeah, man, because they allowed the white people to make us look bad, man.
Oh, man.
I didn't like the projects. I didn't like them being, in that scenario. Even as a child, I just didn't think it was fair for us to be in that predicament. So I have to go with what's happening because they just kept losing in good times. Booker was the man. Come on, they were losing. A football player gets hurt. I'm looking at this like, come on.
Something got to happen, huh?
Come on, man. JJ's.
Why did they call it good times, huh?
Man, I didn't. And that was from Chicago.
It should have been bad times, huh?
Right. Exactly, man. Come on, man. I couldn't do it.
Roller skating or skateboarding?
Roller skating.
Ooh, can you roller skate?
No, I was in a lot of skating rings, but we were performing. But I like watching it, man. Just we were gonna do a documentary in D.C. about roller skating. Because it's a culture in itself.
Low riding or Lamborghini?
I got a Maz, so I'm gonna have to go with the Lambo.
You got to go with the Lambo, okay.
I got to go with the Lambo. I'm into the flavor thing is important. And with low riding, we were out there with Lonzo filming him, and it was a car. It was at the stadium. Yeah. And it was all the cars there, so we got great pictures, and it's amazing how beautiful those cars look. Yeah.
Man, when you come to Cali, when you hit me up, I got a couple of low riders. I'm gonna take you for a ride.
Really?
You might change your mind.
Right. I definitely want to experience it because we did not. But yeah, that'll be real smooth.
Oh yeah, I'll take you we can cruise. We'll cruise, homie.
Yeah, you don't mind if my film come out there and film it, right?
Bring them on down. Come on.
Yeah, I'll throw you right in my documentary.
Hey, I'm here, man. I'm here.
Okay. That's what's up. Thank you.
Mr. Wave, here's a good one.
Go ahead.
Barack Obama or Martin Luther King?
Martin Luther King. I'm gonna tell you why. Because he was against all odds. Barack had intelligence. He had a law degree. He had, the power to extend his brand. Martin Luther King had to fight against his own people, the Black Panthers, who said he was weak. He had to come with it, and to his demise. But I have a dream speech. There's no speech that you can quote to me Barack Obama has that wipes out the "I have a dream" speech. It's easy math.
Love your answer, man. Hey, Mr. Wave, man. I want to let you know, man, I've been watching you for years. I love you in the movie B Street. Always thought you was an outstanding pop locker, man. You're waving, your style, you're gliding, you're floating. Everything was always dope. The way you hit, boom, you'll wave, and then you'll come with this boom, and then you'll go into this wave. Man, I just loved how you got down, man. You are most definitely an icon.
Thank you.
In this industry, this dance industry, man. And I love all the positive things that I'm hearing from you that you got going on. You grew up to be a very intelligent person from the guy you saying used to be a knucklehead, So, that means there is a God. God was on your side, man, and guided you in the right way. So, man, I just want to tell you I appreciate your time and consideration.
No, man, it's not over, because I always feel like when you give, you should receive. So you gave me your time, so I'm gonna make it a point when I get out there to give you mine.
Right on.
So we figure out a platform, and then let's get it done. So just it doesn't have to be this month. It could be in the summer. It could be an event. It could be one of your popping for free. Just let me know what you would like me to do for you.
Oh, right on, man.
Dude, I'm honored.
That's big.
I'm humble.
That's big.
I'm a humble dude. So you figure out what best you could utilize me, and let's make it happen. Let me try to see if I could ask Battle Cat to do me a favor and be the DJ.
Yeah.
Try to put it to where it benefits you for all the hard work that you're doing.
Yeah.
Everything I do is based on something else. It has to be movement, or then what is it really for?
Right.
Does that make sense? Insight.
Big time. Big
that's
time.
what popping gave me, insight.
Hey, man, before you bounce, we got to throw some waves around with each other. I want you to throw one to me. I'm going to throw it back, and we're going to end the show. You got to throw me a wave. Come on.
I want to stand up then. It's only right for me to... No. I got to stand up. I'm going to give you a wave.
Okay, do what you do.
All right, hold on. Can you see me?
I see you. Uh-oh.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Dark?
Turn the light on. There you go.
Can you see me?
I got you.
Hold on, let me loosen up a little bit.
Wait a minute. You weren't supposed to go there on me. Wait a minute, Mr. Wade. Oh, wait a minute.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Hey.
You caught me off guard. Okay, you ready?
Yeah,
Now,
come on. Come on. Ah. Boom. Bam. You got it. Right on, man.
All right, so yeah, definitely let me know what you want me to do. I'll make it happen for you. Hopefully there's some kids involved.
Almost definitely. I run a program here, man. It's a boxing gym and a dance studio. It's 90% teenagers and kids here, from the ages from 4 years old on up.
Okay, so I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna talk to my operations manager and send you my itinerary.
Okay.
And maybe you can come see what I do too there, because I got to shoot for DJ Yella.
Most
More
definitely.
of his documentary.
You invite me, I'm there.
I'm gonna invite you.
I'm there.
So you can be seated firsthand. And I would like you, if you could, to bring one or two of the kids.
Enough
Just
said.
for a little while, so they can get everyone's autograph and they can see us and we can parlay with them. I will, you tell me when you want to do it. If we can do it a month out, like in April,
Yeah.
that would be great.
Okay.
Because I'll be out there anyway. All right?
Sounds good, brother.
Bless.
Hey, Pop Lock, love to you.
One love, baby.
Booyah! What's pop locking, y'all? If you have not subscribed to Cool Boys Boxing Camp and Dance Academy, man, push that button. Come on, push that button and subscribe. That way we may be able to send you an email and bring you on our show. Pop Lock Talk. This show, man, is, to let everybody know that, you got the rap industry, you got the hip hop industry, you got the acting industry. Well, there's a such thing now as the pop lock industry. And this is where we talk about it right here. Cool Boy Sponsoring Camp and Dance Academy. Booyah!
I like the way you move.